Hey, everybody. Welcome to Let's Talk About Things and Stuff, where we talk about things and also stuff. I'm your friendly neighborhood youth guy, Matt Parker, and this is my good friend, Caitlin.
Heyo.
How you doing today, Caitlin?
I'm alright.
Yeah? Did you work today?
Nope.
No work. So you just you were just making these tasty treats all morning and bringing them to me. I love me some good pumpkin bread. It smells like some tasty pumpkin bread. So good. So good. Yeah. What's good in your life these days?
I don't know. It's not. We had this talk briefly before we started filming this. I don't necessarily have anything exciting and crazy happening in my life, but it's not a bad life I'm living.
Okay.
So I have nothing that stands out particularly, but it's not that I'm upset with my life at the moment. It could be better always, but it's nothing. It's just like a lull that I've hit at the moment. So
not a lot of things like you're looking forward to, like in the future, like I don't know, like exciting events or like big life moments.
Not that I can think of immediately.
That's a good place to be.
I mean, the closest thing I got is a family game night. So
I love it.
Because my grandparents, like I mentioned in the last episode, I think.
Yes.
My grandparents wanted to start a game night weekly.
Mm-hmm. On Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, like last week we ended up playing Scrabble.
Okay. Which
I don't know why my cousin chose to play that, because my grandma is like a master at Scrabble. He thought he could beat her. Did not happen.
Is she nationally ranked?
I don't know, but she's just, within our family, she's the clear Scrabble,
of
master.
Course. Yeah.
Well, then, this week, it's already been planned that we'll play Monopoly. And that's another game that she succeeds at.
Nice.
So, we'll see how that goes.
Do you have, like, a family game? Like, if you get together, you're, like, probably going to be playing this game? Or are you trying to build that with your family right now?
Well, growing up, like, elementary age for me, we did our best to have, like, Sunday nights. We would have dinner over at my grandma's. Mm-hmm. And then there would often be a game, or it would, like, for Thanksgiving or Christmas, we'd play games while we're meeting together. And the game I remember most often that we played was Apples to Apples. Mm. Because it's pretty well age appropriate for all who will play. Yeah. And it was fairly fun. So yeah.
It's good fun. Mm-hmm. Good, wholesome apples to apples fun. Yep. For the Parkers, our game, I guess if we had a game, it'd probably be Scattergories. I don't know if you've ever played that, where you have to, within a category starting with the same letter, you have to come up with different things, like names of a boy or kinds of automobile. Yeah. And you get like extra points for like doubles, like blue Beamer. Or something like that. Mm-hmm. So
I don't think I've ever played it, but I've definitely heard about people playing it. Yeah. And how intense some families take it.
Oh yeah, we're pretty serious about it. My grandma was super good at Scrabble, and she got to the point where she was like, "Oh, it's pointless for us to compete, so we're just going to add up our scores together and see if we can beat last time we played. Because I'm obviously going to beat you." Because you're terrible. We're just going to see if you can get a little better than last time.
Okay.
Yeah. No, she was that good, though. She was that good. Well, all right. Well, we've got a lot of good things to talk with you about today. But first, I am in favor of early Christmas decorating. Like, if we could decorate for Christmas and not decorate for Halloween, I'm all about it. I'm like, let's go ahead, October 1st, let's go ahead and pull out some of maybe do some fall decorating, but add some Christmas elements. And then as soon as Halloween hits, we're decorating for Christmas. Not really. But, I mean, I would be okay with that. Christmas music season starts in my house September 1st. Like, we've been playing Christmas music for a couple of months now. Okay. Not exclusively. But it's in the mix. Yeah, it's in the mix. Okay, so what is the appropriate time to decorate for Christmas?
I don't I mean, there's no, like, right or wrong answer, because it depends on the person. There's some people that feel strongly to, start it as soon as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And there are people that think, oh, you shouldn't do it until December, the month of Christmas. But for me, I'm similar to y'all, because I'll put more fall decorations out, like September and October,
mm-hmm.
and then come November 1st, I'm very likely to start putting up Christmas and switch it out. And usually I'll start listening to Christmas music as well around that time, but I haven't yet this year. So I don't know what's up, but I'm slow on my Christmas music listening this year.
I'm really disappointed about that.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay, so you're listening to Christmas music. What is your go-to? Is it like Mariah Carey or Pentatonics or?
I've got a playlist that I've made and I've used the last few years. It's got a mix of more pop Christmas, and then it's got classic ones, and then I've got a couple Trans-Siberian Orchestra ones and other, like, orchestral ones.
Mannheim Steamroller?
Yeah, I've at least one from Mannheim.
I love it. I remember when that came out back in the 80s. It was amazing.
Mm-hmm. And so it's an assortment, and then I also just go off Spotify created ones.
Yeah.
Because it'll vary on my mood of what kind of Christmas music I want to listen to.
Yeah.
So.
Well, earlier this week, I was listening to Sufjan Stevens' Christmas album. It's amazing. Not all of them are what you typically think of as Christmas songs, but like he even filters in some like hymns, like I've forgotten which ones now. But I was listening to it earlier this week. But it's really, really good, creative. If you're into like indie rock, indie pop kind of, banjos and soft whispered songs mixed in with some driving like indie rock kind of songs.
One of my favorite artists,
my jam.
Forrest Frank. He's known to be a Christian artist. Well, he's coming out with covers of hymns and Christmas songs. I think it's the 10th of this month.
Forrest Frank.
Yeah.
Nice.
And he said this will be like lo-fi, calm, mellow
I love it.
versions of these songs, so I'm looking forward to listening to them.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, that's one of the things I like about Sufjan is he's got some like, it sounds like he's just recording in a room with a bunch of his friends, almost like a lo-fi kind of deal. Anyway, very cool. So what about you guys? We'd love to get your thoughts on the appropriate time to start in with your Christmas music listening or decorating or all of the above. So drop a note in the comments or shoot us a DM, approach us on the street or just whatever works for you. We'd love to hear from you and hear about your thoughts on. Well, actually, I don't know if we do because this could be a contentious deal. Here's the thing: we have mistletoe in our entryway. Most people don't notice it because we have kind of a high ceiling in our entryway, and like this, it's not a chandelier, but it's like a drop down light.
Okay.
And there's mistletoe that hangs on it. And it hasn't come down all year. It's been up there since last Christmas. And, of course, last Christmas, I gave you my heart. One of the greatest Christmas pop songs of all time from...
It is a good one.
Do you know the group?
I don't remember.
I think it was Wham! George Michael and Wham!
Do I need to look it up real quick?
Wham! With an exclamation point. Wham! Wham! Yeah, it's a good song. One of the greats of Christmas pop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So according to Google, it is in fact by Wham!
Yes!
With an exclamation point.
I got it right. George Michael. Yep.
So.
Yeah. Good times. Good times. It's a good song. All right. Okay, well, let's talk about what we've been consuming in the cultural arena. I finally got around to watching Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
It's been out, I don't know when it came out, but it's been a while, like probably 6 or 8 months.
Or even a year at this point.
Yeah, by now. Who knows? But anyway, it's been out for a while, and Misha and I, actually Misha started watching it. I kind of had picked up clips of it while Marilee, and I think she was watching it with Megan. No, probably not, because it's got some stuff in it that it's probably a little too intense for our younger watchers, and it's got some language and violence and stuff like that. So adult themes. But it stays true to the Addams Family genre of the macabre. Like, you were covered in roaches? That must have been awesome. That kind of all negative things are good, kind of thing. You lived your life under threat of death all semester long. That was fantastic, And so that was. I've never really been a huge fan of that, but I mean they were consistent with it, so it's it's good. The bright and sunny roommate of Wednesday. It's about Wednesday Addams, who's kicked out of one school for she puts piranhas in a pool, where some kids who are bullying her brother were swimming, and none of them died, but they got bit, and so she got expelled from that school. Shockingly,
wow.
And so she was sent off to. I'm going to get the name of the school wrong. I want to call it Nevermore. But I think that might be it. But it's in a small town that doesn't understand like magic and the macabre stuff, and so these people are in the small town are like really suspicious and fearful of this school of werewolves and magic people, and so there's a lot of interaction between the small town folks and the school people, and there's a whole lot of history that's going on, and it becomes a huge murder mystery about this beast that's killing people and threatening lives and stuff, and it was good. It was good. It was okay. They borrow a lot from stuff like Harry Potter. There's a lot of Hogwarts vibe and X-Men vibe also, at this school.
Okay.
And I guess not really X-Men, but sort of, the shapeshifters and the magic and stuff like that,
right.
and the acceptance that you find when you're at this academy, when you're an outcast or whatnot. But anyway, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I am not a huge fan.
Okay.
Because I'm not a fan of the macabre, and also because, I guessed who the beast was almost right away. Like I was like, yeah, it's that guy, and I was right.
It's that guy.
Yeah. So, and it's like, yeah, if I can do that, then I'm going to be less inclined to be super, super engaged by it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, anyway, I fell asleep a lot. I skipped around some. Misha watched the whole thing all the way through, and it was good. But again, some language, some violence, but otherwise, especially for like teenage viewers who are still developing their nuance and their ability to read a TV show, it's pretty good.
Okay.
Pretty good. What about you? What are you consuming in the cultural arena?
So, it's almost like an annual thing. And it was for the longest time with my family. We are big Harry Potter fans. Surprisingly, none of us have read the books. But we've seen all the movies several times.
Of course.
Because, like, on cable, the channel Freeform has, like, weekends throughout the fall and winter of Harry Potter weekends. So it's just nonstop Harry Potter.
Seriously?
Yes.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Well,
Fun.
We've since gotten rid of cable for X reasons. Well, we have every single movie on DVD. And I still needed my Harry Potter fix.
Of course.
So I started, actually, this morning, and I watched the first movie, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. And it cracks me up a little because there's one scene in that movie when they're playing giant wizard chess.
Yes.
That scene is viral at the moment on social media. Because people are making a mockery of their accents and the way they say their lines.
Really?
Yes.
That's very interesting.
And there's even one video I've seen where someone has animated that scene, and it's turned it kind of inappropriate because they're dancing in ways that people shouldn't dance, and it's funny.
Are they twerking?
There is some twerking in it. I'll be honest, there is some. But I mean, because there's a couple of people who have the entire scene memorized.
Yeah.
And they'll do it in the accents and everything, but it's still making kind of a mockery of them because it's not English, or at least our English. And so the way I don't even want to do it because it'd be terrible, but just it's a very popular scene. So
yeah. So you haven't read the book though?
No, I've tried to. I don't know, middle school maybe. or late elementary, but I didn't get very far.
Does it bother you that they changed it to Sorcerer Stone instead of Philosopher's Stone?
That'll be something that doesn't. I haven't thought of it much. No.
Okay. I think they've got the Harry Potter movies on Peacock right now. I know the Sorcerer's Stone is on Peacock. Do you have Peacock? It's the NBC.
Not the subscription. No.
The NBC streaming service.
But we have them all on DVD.
Yeah, why would you need it on streamer
So...
if you've got it on DVD? Because we all have DVD players these days.
We do. I mean, it's not like a VHS.
That's true.
We still got one of those, though.
That's true. VHS tapes.
Yes.
Love
we
it.
have, like, tubs in our garage full of VHS movies.
We tried to hold on to our boxes and boxes of VHS tapes of kids' shows, like Blue's Clues and Bear in the Big Blue House and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And finally we were just like, it's not coming back. These aren't going to be worth anything. Those tapes are gone, so we gave them away. But it was a sad day for us. Well, cool, though. Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all right. Well, let's talk about what's going on in the headlines. I came across a story yesterday about group texting.
Mm-hmm.
I got to tell you, I love group texting. I don't love group texting. In fact, especially when it turns green. I have an iPhone, and as soon as I put a name in and it turns green, I'm like, oh, crud. I'm never going to be able to get out of this thing. And
then every time someone likes or thumbs up a message, you get that whole notification instead of just adding on to your text.
Exactly. So here's the thing. There's you know how 10 years ago, cyberbullying was like on Facebook or Instagram. You know, you'd have a bunch of DMs, or you'd have like a picture shared that was inappropriate or something compromising of somebody, and it would go viral, and
it still is.
Yeah, and that's still a thing.
Right.
But now it's kind of shifted to being part of these giant group texts.
Okay.
And so the bullying now happens in like side conversations on a massive group text. Like you've got this whole class of people talking about whatever. And then somebody screenshots a part of the conversation, shares it with a smaller group of people, and they start gossiping and talking about, that stupid thing. Mm-hmm. But in the group text, it's, oh, hey, yeah, good point. And then over here, it's like, this person's stupidest person in the world, and all that stuff. Or somebody will like be doing that on the side, in a side conversation, and then somebody will screenshot that conversation and share it with the main group chat and like out them for having been so negative and mean in the side conversation.
Right.
And so it's become like this really weird way of bullying somebody by outing them for being a gossiper or whatnot. And it's a real, I see it as a real problem, and I see it as an unhealthy way for us to engage with our devices. But have you ever been in a situation like that? Are you? What's been your experience?
So, I mean, I've been in plenty of group texts, and I can't say that I've been in many, if really any, of the side conversations, because I feel like I've made a comment, worded it weird, and so and being that it's text message, you can't read the way it was meant to be said through your device.
Yes.
And so then, it gets spun and taken a different way.
Yeah.
And spirals out.
Right.
And, I mean, I think there were one or two occasions with, like, coworkers or former coworkers that, would be talking about other coworkers and blah, blah, blah. And so then that would be we'd have that. It's not necessarily outside of that big group chat. It was just they would use that as a way to talk negatively of other coworkers. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah. So part of the group chat dynamic is not just being part of a group chat and then being talked about in a side chat, but who's left out of the big group chat, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like you have this large group chat of almost everybody, but then there's that one or two people who are left out of the group chat and left wondering what people are saying about them behind their back.
Yeah.
Man, I love technology, but I sometimes hate it.
Mm-hmm.
And I've heard about things, and I've been involved with things as a youth pastor fairly recently, multiple times, this kind of dynamic happening. And I've watched it happen in real time, how people are ostracized and left out by people in a big group chat, and it's pretty unhealthy in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
So, what about you guys? Do you like being in a big group chat? I got to tell you, as a 46-year-old non-digital native kind of guy, I hate being in a group chat. Even if it's blue and I can mute it or whatnot, it's like I'm in some and a conversation is going on for like an hour, and it's a side conversation, but it's in the main group chat. It's like, hey, I've got a question for you, and it's not to everybody; it's just to one person. And then I pick up my phone, and I've got like 40 notifications of text, and I open it up, and it's one conversation, and none of it has anything to do with me. For me, I'm not as in favor of that as some other people might be. Mm-hmm. But that could just be me.
I mean, when it's not including the entire, like, population of the group chat, I don't see why it would be best. Because it's not, like, in your example, it sounds as if, it was just out of curiosity and, getting their input.
Yes.
Specifically.
Yes.
Versus, they're wanting to talk badly. Because if they're wanting to talk badly, they wouldn't have done it in the big group chat.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad thing they're saying or a bad thing they're talking about.
It's just annoying because it doesn't involve
It doesn't involve me. It has nothing to do with me. And I'm like, just send a side chat. Just send a side text. It's no big deal. I'm fine with not being part of the group conversation. Believe me. Believe me, I am. Yeah. So what about you? Do you enjoy group chats? Are you part of one? Have you ever experienced a thing like we were talking about earlier about being left out of a group chat? Love to hear your stories, and you can share in the comments. You can send us a DM or post on your own social media. What are your feelings about group chats? Oh, yeah. And as always, you can share your comments and compliments in the comments below. And this has been Let's Talk About Things and Stuff. I think that's all we have to talk about, where we talk about things and also stuff. We'll see you later. Such an awkward